Cool Figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yao Mean of Revolution. And what a diabolical scam and scheme and shakedown and going on right now. Before we go get into that, be sure to wipe your feet. That means hit the like button. You in the House of Revolution. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform. Y'all salute, family. This is very disgusting. The feds, Wack, 1090 Jake the Snake, putting Larry Hoover's life in danger, all in the extortion attempt. Remember Wack being saying he got a footage, life rights, all that type of stuff. Now all of a sudden he's acting like he's protecting and defending Hoover's name. Let's get into this content.
Leader. But unfortunately, if you go by the paperwork, he's also what? He'd be considered a snitch, right? He identified the two people that they were rival gang members.
What's good, y'all? It's 1090 Jake losing his touch. Y'all be the judge. A newspaper article from 68, and we know what the sentiment was back then. Let's get to the content.
But who paid 1090 to do that? Salute. Who paid 1090 Jake to do that? Oh, we got it all. We bring it all to the light. Wack tried to 52 fake everybody. We won't allow him to do that. We know Wack put this whole play together. And don't just think of this particular snitching allegation. Think about Wack 100 getting into it with Jay Prince. What did they get into it about? Oh, Wack 100 saying he had some footage of Larry Hoover and he needed the family to sign off on so they could all make money together. Because the woman came to him through the cop, Reggie White Jr., who brought down Suge Knight in Death Row. Now they're dealing with Wack 100, and they got this footage of Larry Hoover, and they're trying to extort the family. But let's just see what's going on right now.
Okay, there you have it. Now, yesterday, I ran my content. Today, 1090 runs his content. I know you're going to hear this. Those days of that white woman running in the middle of the street, pointing around and saying he did it, and that dude over there changing the carburetor up under the pickup truck is over. Great presentation, great clip. But unfortunately, where I come from, 1090, we don't go off newspapers. We all know watching old mob movies, newspapers can be brought. Newspapers are not, I repeat, are not court documents.
Facts.
So since you took the time, 1090, to go to the Chicago Tribune page 14, I think he said it was. Hey, I spoke against it yesterday and said I don't believe it. It don't make sense. I think it's a plot to get the man attacked because he just got to the state on a medium yard.
Now, see, when he lying and scheming and scamming, he can say some truthful stuff like that right there. That is exactly what they put. They put a target on Mr. Hoover. And Wack let that drop. That's the whole thing, to have him under pressure. They want the family to sign off on them on that video footage that Wack 100 got. Don't forget he got the footage. That's why him and Jay got to it to begin with. Now all of a sudden, Wack has to help clear his name, so he won't be in danger. You see, if a man help clear your name and you're not in danger, do you owe him something like signing off on the footage so we can make this money? Do you see where this came from?
Well, 1090, I guess you got to go to the courtroom and request these documents. I mean, You stepped into this policy. It's on you. I'm only responding because I got to stand on my square. This is not court document.
But Wack, check this out though.
Ethel? Who did it? It was the Negro. Which one? That one. Nah. Ain't no Rosewood, Mississippi burn going over here at 1090. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We not doing that. So I need you to do 1090. It seems to me like you back woke. You've been in hibernation for a while. Like you dug into the Chicago Tribune, page 14. You got to go get to work. That's just where I
Wack, pay that boy to do that. Tonight Jake is a hired slanderer. You can pay him to slander people. Wack manipulated that want to be blood over there to do this. This is a scheme and a scam that they running. And the main point, and I know Larry Hoover and the family know that. Jay Pritchett should be smart enough to know. Wack is acting like we're gonna get to the interview. Wack interviewed the man that shot Larry Hoover, and the man said Hoover did not snitch. So, but Wack knew that. But now Wack is sitting in the position as the man who cleared Hoover's name. But who threw the dirt on Hoover? And what was the reason Wack wanted to be the one to clear his name? It's all about the footage Wack got, but he can't put it out to the Hoover family, sign off on it, and they make money together.
understand. It's crazy right now because a lot of you weirdos out there, I don't know if y'all just don't know nothing about Chicago, or know nothing about Larry Hoover or whatever this, with the significance of this. A lot of y'all weirdos is getting in my comments as if I'm attacking Larry Hoover. See, right now, I'm kind of needed because if it's a Wack in the 1090 swaying the same way, that's a hard fire to put out.
See, he can't help it. He can't help it. But let him know where it comes from. He needed. They need him. Who needs you? Larry Hoover and the family need me. And you'll be shocked that he's saying it, but he told you why. Because if I go along with 1090 Jake on this slander campaign, that's what he said.
Please use your mind and stop reading clickbait and listen. I have not said nothing in favor of these documents. Everything I've been saying is in favor of Mr. Hoover. So I don't know if y'all just dumb. I believe I'm the only one speaking in favor of him. Now we got 1090 Jake. He said it. He said, hey, the God is this is that. He said it. I'm saying I don't believe it. And the reason why I don't believe it, because it's newspaper articles. I do know dude's been under attack day one. And I just ain't gonna ride off a newspaper article. Y'all remember I got called out for putting a newspaper article up on Cool to Beat. They called me out and said, Wack, that ain't no real paperwork. We need the real paperwork. I went to DOG, got the real paperwork, brought it back. So 1090's in the same situation. He needs to go get the legal documents. We had something from Ghost. What's that site? The Chicago-based site? Squid 8. For those of y'all who saying Wack created the document to put it up to respond, nah. Squid 8, my understanding, is a Chicago-based blog site is who put it up. I responded to it yesterday. I guess 1090 heard what I had to say, and he giving his take on it. He went and found something in the Chicago Tribune paper, page 14 or so. Oh yeah, he listening. He just texted me. I knew he was listening. Okay, so he's sending me pictures of the shooters, and it's the 1968 newspaper clip, page 14. I'm gonna send this over to all y'all can have it. They be listening, boy. What I do see is he went and dug up a newspaper article. Okay, so now he know his back is against the wall. Now he got to go get to work, which I Googled it. Illinois holds the work. I guess you got to request it some type of way. So he got to do the footwork. Me, I'm not pointing the finger at that man based on the newspaper clip.
Yep, it's a video from like a year ago where I sent it to you, right? And this dude, he covered this, right? And he said that the dude James Whitesmith, the dude who shot Larry Hoover, even he said that Larry Hoover ain't tell.
Who is this on the video?
It's another dude. He a white dude too. He do like content and stuff, but he from Chicago. All he do is Chicago content.
Yeah, see, at this point in time, we got the 1090 got to go get to work because he say, she say, a newspaper say, that ain't no work.
Facts.
And again, a day after he, has a W over there, here it comes. So, 1090 did a little more diggity, found something in the newspaper, but I don't recognize or acknowledge newspaper as court documents, personally. That's why my stance is, I hear it, great clip, great piece of work. You got the little mystical sound, you know what I'm saying, going on back there. If I could take a guess, you ain't got no socks on, you got some of them open-toe sandals on with the wide soles on. You was twinkling your toes while you was doing this 1090. But we need you to put the boots on. You gotta get down in the mud. You gotta come with something a little stronger than this because you actually used the rat word.
He sure did.
He actually said it.
If you're paying attention, Wack knows more than he's saying. And anybody, he's like, hold on. Obviously, this James Weiss, all that is just a play they ran. He knew James Highsmith was going to say Larry never snitched. He knew that. But he cleared him on that. We're going to list another video in a minute. We're going to show you to where him and 1090 saying, no. Forget that. I got more. And Wack's going to be bragging about, whoa, it's more to come. 1090 say he's not going to stop. Wait a minute. If you just talk to the man and he say, Hoover didn't snitch, and what more could it be? It's a play they running the whole time. The man who shot Hoover, that just to get people interested. Now they're going to go deeper with their bullshit.
He said it. And it's crazy. So it is enough until I see some court documents. I'm not standing on no newspaper clippings. Hold on, let me see.
How do we got to look at 1090 though now? Like, how do we look at him now?
Sold to EOS. And this man was a certified smacker, leader. But unfortunately, if you go by the paperwork, he's also what? He'd be considered a snitch, right? He identified the two people and they were rival gang members, and the police went to their house and got them.
Yep. Yeah, he said it. Yep. Oh, 1090, yep. Oh, yeah. I can't rock with it. I don't know if I can't rock with the newspaper as paperwork, as court documents. Listen, y'all know 1090, he got to eat.
Now watch, all right? That's Wack pretending as if, I'm not trying to buy that. But he the one told 1090 to do it the whole time. All right, well, let's get to this. Let's get to Wack telling us that 1090 got way more than what they brought to the internet. And he not going to stop. What type of extortion racket is y'all running?
It's Ray Gift TV.
Ray Gift TV.
Let's get right to it.
The last dude I asked, he had a bunch of horrible things to say that wasn't in favor. DJ something, I forget. He's old school, but on Clubhouse from back in the day. Forget the nigga name. He's from Chicago.
Beware of the false GDs and shit. Motherfuckers is knocked out for
I
that.
don't know. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Then you get on the phone with some of the youngsters, and they tell you some crazy shit. Man, we don't give a fuck about what.
Because that's off their life. I'm telling you. Tap in.
It's definitely something. It's something that went on with him.
My people is a walking testimony to that one. But shit, I ain't gonna talk about it though.
The thing is, like, I don't know if it was like the fight, like a revolutionary fight. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
When you free today?
Huh?
When are you free today?
I'm gonna do this little thing at 2:00 so I can get this shit out. Cause dude want me to get it out. The dude that really shot Larry Hoover really called me. Swear to God, at like 11 o'clock, they found me. He really called me. The dude, the actual guy.
This shit gonna be spicy at I ain't gonna lie. 2:00 gonna get lit.
The nigga called me. He gave me all the details, all the shit. James Highsmith. The nigga claimed it too. You know what that nigga told me, Beast?
What did he say?
Shit. He said, I think I'm the one committed the first school shooting in America.
Well, he stood on the first. That's
That nigga said that shit, bro. That niggas, I thought about it like, shit, this nigga might be right. We had the bombings. When was that bombing done? Remember?
That was in 91. That was
Remember the bombing with the black when they started integrating the schools?
That was in Mississippi somewhere like in like 70. That was like in the 70s, 74, 75.
Nah, it had to be in the 60s.
Wow, they don't know nothing about our history. Wack don't know nothing about it.
Had to be. They couldn't have been in the 70s.
Tink, can you look that up for us, Tink?
What did they? What was they called it something?
They called it church
school bomb. And I remember when they tried to integrate the school.
Let's get right to it.
It was like 4 girls.
Talking about Mississippi?
Yeah, what year was that?
That was in the 60s, I believe.
In the 60s, but this shit was in the 60s too. Shit.
What now?
It was in 63, Wack.
63, yeah, it was a school bomb. Because the niggas said, look, Brock, I swear to God, the niggas called my phone, bro.
No, I've been defending you all week on that one, bro.
Yeah,
it's facts.
Yeah,
It's facts, my nigga. Like feel how y'all want to feel. A fact is a fact, nigga. So you gonna stand behind it, or you just gonna feel like you
They just called my phone. They called my phone and told me we don't know who these other niggas is, Wack. But Chicago supports you. That means everything you saying been real. Some of the shit ain't in favor is real. But the fact that you out up there and said this is a newspaper clipping, and we have watched the mob and everybody else manipulate the newspaper when they want to versus legal documents. Now it's gonna fuck you up with what the brother said about the shooting and who was the witnesses and how he got his time. Shit, the other nigga who named they threw in there, Brock, you know how much time he did?
How much?
Not one day. All that kept, but in the newspaper, bro, when he say what he say, he like, this how you know it's cap, because Wack, that's like you doing something, and the nigga saying Wack 100, the Crip did the shooting, but you ain't a Crip. He said at that point, how much credibility does this source have? Now I will tell you, 1090 knows. He seen my posts. He has texted me.
Pay attention.
The 1090 Jake nigga's diabolical. This is not gonna stop here. Because he has sent me some things,
Okay.
and
Pay attention, man. This is what pisses up now. He say 1090 Jake the Snake is diabolical. This is not gonna stop here. What do you mean? You talk to James Highsmith yourself. We're gonna play them talking to each other. He told you it's not true. How if the man who shot Hoover telling you that's not true, he stood tall, he never told, then what the fuck do we have to listen to 1090 Jake? I told you that was the point. They knew he never told. but they want to drag him on all kind of. This is going to be a campaign dragging Hoover, and guess what? Guess who the only person that can stop it? Guess who can help save Hoover's name? Wack 100. He playing a dangerous game, but that's the game he playing.
Not gonna stop here. Because he had sent me some things, and I'm like, I'm not listening. I'm not covering that. He like, Wack, you run with that. I said, I gotta run with the content. It's the content to clear the brother. He said, okay, well, I'm coming like this. Brock, this nigga diabolical. I gotta give the 1090 niggas some credit for being a fucked up individual. He is a fucked up. This nigga plays angles. He gets it. If I can't win here, let me jab there. You get.
He telling you about himself and throwing it on 1090. You see what I'm saying? This is all about the war he had with Jay Prince about the motherfucking footage that Reggie White Jr., the cop from Death Row, brought him or the lady, the footage she had with Hoover while he was locked up. That they want to make some money off of, but the family got to sign off on and everybody got to come together. And they didn't want Wack in on it, but Wack said he paid the deposit on it. He got to be at the table. That's what this shit is all about. All of this. That's what this campaign is about.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Yo, listen.
Oh man.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah. My mind going 30 different places, nigga. I'm like, I can't wait to see this shit.
What if you listen? Because I know you know how to hold water. Listen, man. Hold on. This nigga 1090 is diabolical.
I'm going to see if my guess right, because I ain't going to lie. I'm already off the other shit. I'm already thinking some other shit.
Listen, I'm set out to clear the brother. You know. But one ain't got nothing really to do with the other, but in how these YouTube streets work, this is going to keep burning. That's it. I did take some things out, Brock. I took one thing out because I didn't want people to think I was trying to turn it into that, where niggas dove about 1,800 miles south of them and spoke their piece about certain individuals. I'm like, well, we're not really, how they really feel. A lot of details and shit. But this shit finna get ugly. I'm doing my part. Chicago, I got the call from Chicago. I asked for permission to record the call. They gave me permission to record the call. The dude that shot Larry Hoover walked up in the hallway and shot Larry Hoover. Called my phone. James, name is Mr. James Highsmith. Call my phone. He is free. He has a organization in Chicago. He's still in Chicago. He's done time. I'ma say it. He has come face to face with Larry Hoover since he shot him. He's gonna talk about it. He's going to talk about the details, who said what, who didn't say what, who did what, how he got the time. He's going to talk about it. I'm just, listen, niggas is still texting me talking crazy. This nigga, who was this nigga right here? This nigga still talking about.
I just read that shit. That shit crazy.
That's what, look, when he seen me post what I posted, the nigga hit me with that. The nigga's diabolical. You see how he come? The niggas are terrorists.
He is, bro. That
niggas are terrorists.
If I can't get you, nigga.
Yeah. The niggas are terrorists.
Hey, that's how I know you ain't got that shit. Like, cause this motherfucker right there,
bro.
If it was on a nigga name, he'd find it.
Now you know, Brock, if I'd have been on some bullshit,
that's what I say.
I'd be spinning a boy listen.
Oh God.
This nigga's diabolical, bro. This nigga said, you niggas don't pick up for Chicago niggas, huh? We need to talk. Okay, this is text I just got. Hey, bro, I don't know how y'all do with y'all people. You got to take that shit down what you posted about Larry. Y'all niggas got too comfortable with playing with the folks. I'm out here on Pickles in Charleston and Vegas. How can we link? We not gonna start out like that though. I'm Lil Pops. My daddy is Big Pops. Look him up. We can't have that up on the old man, brother. Take that shit down and let's do real business. I fuck with you, Wack. So now I think he trying to use Larry Hoover name to try to do some business.
Yeah, like what?
Why you telling us? Don't tell us. That's what between you and that man. That man told you he in Vegas, nigga, where you stay. You see what he's doing? Did you see this police activity? You live in Vegas. He told you, hey, he in Vegas. He even told you what street was on. And nigga say, let's link up. Let's do some business. Ha, you don't want to meet him, Wack? Yeah, keep playing games, boy.
That was a lot of emotions. A lot of different emotions in one paragraph. That nigga said,
hey, Wack, we gonna call Nipsey a weirdo.
Jake the Snake and Wack think this a game. But let's hear the let's hear this. This is what this nigga wanted. Let's hear this nigga conversation.
That happened 3 hours ago with Wack 100 and James, what's his name? Highsmith. Is it James Highsmith? You sure? James Highsmith, the shooter who popped Larry Hoover at the high school.
Huh? Now you telling me he don't have some animosity? The shooter. The dude who popped. Come on, man. Yeah, this little FBI agent playing dangerous games, though.
Yeah. We're going to let it rip. Like, subscribe. Let's get it going. I promise you guys I'm going to start working this page more. I've been busy doing things, doing that, doing this. 600 Flacco's going to join. All right, so here we go. I started to keep it to myself. R&B said the people need to hear it. I ain't never going against the queen. And let's let it rip. All right, so listen, let this be clear. I'm on the phone with some with individuals from Chicago. Not just individuals, but one of the individuals that was involved in this shooting that happened with Larry Hoover, where people are running around with the narrative that Larry Hoover told on these individuals. So I'm gonna let the brother speak and tell me if there's some truth to that, no truth to that. My disposition is newspaper article is not looked at as legal documents, so I've been standing against it. So I'm gonna let the brother speak, let y'all know who he is. We all see the names that was posted on the internet about the shooters, and he gonna tell us what his facts of how this situation went, what they are. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, my name is James Highsmith. I was the shooting cause it's not alleged. I did do the shooting and I did serve time in prison. But it wasn't at the behest of Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover never told me. Matter of fact, it was over 100 people in the hallway, so there wasn't no way anybody knew I did it.
Now, I want to make that part clear. Out the gate, the shooter, Mr. James Highsmith, just said it was a bunch of people in the hallway. Larry Hoover never told on him. Let's keep it rolling.
They didn't need Larry Hoover to tell. First of all, and secondly, and more importantly, is that it wasn't the whole narrative that the newspaper had and a lot of people was repeating in a lot of books never did happen like that. As long as he wasn't with me, he was down the hallway. And nobody tell me to burn that man. 2 girls came and told me that they was coming down there to jump on me, but I could have left, and I had a pistol, so I waited for them. And that's what happened.
Okay. He said the other individual that was named in the newspaper article where they said he told James burn Larry Hoover, said that never happened. Dude was way down the hallway somewhere. He said 2 girls told him they called Larry and them to come jump on him. So instead of leaving, he had a pistol, so he waited on them to show up. And when they showed up, he got busy. Let's keep it going. Got you. So y'all had y'all personal issues regardless of what it was. You was the shooter. It was a bunch of people in the hallway that probably gave description or probably knew who you was or saw whatever it was they saw. But with you fighting the case, Larry Hoover was never a name that cooperated against you, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that plus he couldn't have never cooperated with me because I already pleaded out. You know, and the paperwork is that Larry Hoover never made a statement, period.
Now, he further goes on to say, Larry Hoover never made a statement on him, period, and he pleaded out. Wasn't no statement there. Let's keep it rolling. Again, supporting what I thought happened that with this whole newspaper article, they putting what they want to put in there. Remember, man, like information to tear you down. They try to do it to me every day. If I wasn't a strong individual I was, I'd have been around off the internet. But listen, my support system, my mental, it don't matter. Let's keep it rolling. That's what your paperwork read.
My paperwork wasn't no statement made by Larry Hoover, so there's no paperwork period.
Got you. Now, another thing is, because I'm gonna be real, brother, because this is dangerous waters for me, but I feel like I got a platform and I've done time before. So when I see things and hear things, especially when we're speaking about somebody such as Mr. Hoover, who is who he is, who is a pillar, who is part of this foundation of what we call blackness, right? From where it came from.
This dude is a disgusting, manipulative piece of shit, bro. That's serious business, man.
What it was and what it is today, I use my platform to fight back. Now, I get a lot of backlash because they say, yo, Wack, this Chicago business, a GD business, why are you speaking on it? I said, well, I'm speaking on it in defense of the brother, right? If I didn't speak on it and let people run amok with it, you know.
He the one told 1090 to run the play. They run it together. He the arsonist and he the firefighter. He started the motherfucking fire and then he trying to put it out. And it's some people who understand what I'm saying. He did it. Now all of a sudden he said, I'm defending Larry Hoover. I'm the one defending Larry, not Jay Prince. No, it's me. You see? So they can do that business on that videotape that he got. It's all about money. This is a dangerous weasel right here.
Ain't no telling how big the lie or the fire might grow. So I'm speaking to you because you are, I consider my triple OG, one of my elders, right? I'm pretty sure you had conversations with your people. Is there any issues with how I've been handling this situation?
Actually, I'm not aware of anything, but I just appreciated that you were saying that this happened over 57 years ago. 2 young men. I was 18 and he was 18. We was caught up in the times and the events. And it wasn't no real animosity towards him and I because him and I grew up together. But the fact of the matter is that people are using things that happened that they wasn't born, they wasn't around, they didn't know anything about, and they had their own means and ideas, whatever their motives are, ulterior motives are, it still don't reach the fact and it's affecting true history, and it's affecting the fact this man that spent over 52 years in prison, and if he ain't cracked before then, what made you think he cracked back then?
Yep. So what he's saying is this. Let's pay attention to Larry Hoover's character. If he ain't cracked in the last 52 years and told on a bunch of people to free himself out of prison, what makes you think he was cracked because he gonna snitch because he got shot? Right? He's saying the man was known for standing on this gangster. Now, in his up-and-coming conversation, I'm going to ask him if he ran into Larry Hoover. What happened after the fact? Because it was 18 when this happened. I don't know. Larry Hoover didn't go to the penitentiary till 5-6 years later. He went to jail and got out. But he also ran into Larry Hoover in the penitentiary.
You see, this little disgusting piece of shit. If you just pay attention, you can see when he's being disrespectful and where he going with this. What he's saying, and I recognize it. He ain't gonna shoot that shit by me. Golden Gloves, I caught it. What he's saying is, he shot Larry. That's why he said popped him, the shooter. That's why he put emphasis on this. The nigga popped him. He's being disrespectful. But now he's saying the man who shot him, he ran back into Larry later. And Larry didn't do nothing. That's what he trying. It's smut all over this bullshit with this guy. That's what he's saying.
So what we have established is that Larry Hoover's, the one that shot him, is saying Larry gave no statements. Larry did not tell on him. The other dude never told him to burn Larry. 2 chicks let him know Larry was coming up to the school to jump him. He had a pistol, so he waited. 1968. Nigga James was strapped.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I bet not hear none of this. Lil Durk started this gangster shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga.
Mm-hmm.
James was strapped in 68 at the high school, homie. Strapped. What? They finna come holler at me. I'm strapped. Probably had him a 32, 5-6 shot. You know what I'm saying? A little rust on it, a little tape on the handle, but he was ready. Let's keep it rolling.
It's a fact. He's been fighting for his right for 52 years. He's been a stand-up, strong, powerful young man that is inspiration to a lot of people, including myself. So I'm telling this to say this, that to build the man up, to build up crazy stuff, you understand? Black people is our duty because this man, our leaders was born, we didn't appoint our leaders. We're not going to allow no one else to appoint our leaders. He was born our leader. And what we have to do is we have to support it. And propaganda, they done took every one of our leaders, every one of our celebrities.
Wack don't like that. That man say Larry his leader. See, Wack, why you didn't tell us that, Wack? I heard that man nigga say Larry was his leader. Nobody will point. No, you don't get to point the leader. He our leader. We saying he the lead, our leader. You know, that's old school OG.
What they do is they destroy him, and we support it.
That's a fact.
So what we have to do as black men and as brothers and sisters who have been in the struggle out here, have been struggling from the beginning. It don't make no difference with you was Stone, Disciple, Vice Lord, Blood, Crip, or whatever. We was all in the same boat. And the fact of the matter is, man, this man right here should be honored just for the fact that he survived this.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, he survived this. He done took his hit all the way around. I mean, losing, wasn't around for his mother's death, wasn't around for his brother's death, wasn't around to raise his children. And you gonna tell me that we as a people, I wouldn't give a damn what it is. He earns his space in history as one of the strongest brothers in Chicago.
Now, once again, shout out to Hip Hop Council, 1999 Super Chat. Shout out to my man TJ, 49.99 Super Chat. So one more y'all out there. I missed you, but I'm going to find him and give you a shout out. So now, he's pretty much saying Larry Hoover should be commended, honored, and respected for his struggles and the things that he's done for the city of Chicago. And by right, he's one of the top people in Chicago that people should honor. Let's keep it going. That's a fact. I respect that. I salute that. The brother on the phone, again, this is the brother that was one of the shooters who did time, right, for that incident with Larry Hoover back in 1968, I believe it was. And he's saying he pled out. Larry Hoover never gave a statement. It was a bunch of people in the hallway. It was at a high school. So that never.
I believe that it was the first school shooting on the book.
Yo, not only is James, what's his name again, baby? Highsmith. Not only at 18 in 1968. What? They coming to jump me? I'm not going nowhere. I'm strapped. Not only was he ready in 68, James Highsmith is claiming, I did the first high school shooting. Only I was defending myself. I didn't come up there popping no innocent bystanders. I popped what came up there to do something to me. A lot of y'all may say, why he didn't squabble up? Hey, listen, back in them days, them niggas was playing with knives, brass knuckles, bumper jacks, crowbars. Listen, the girl said, 2 niggas coming up here to get you, James. James said, I ain't running nowhere. Nigga, I got this trusty 32, and I'm popping something out if you come up here playing with me. And now he claiming that the first school shooting happened in Chicago. Was Shy, Rack, that in 68? Let's keep listening. Yo, you know what? You might.
May I correct one thing?
Yes, sir.
He wasn't one of the shooters. He was the shooter.
Oh, so it was only one shooter.
They speak of is Long Street. He was down. He was in the school, but it wasn't them. And he didn't do a thing, Cat.
So you the only one who went to jail?
I'm the only one our case got settled, and the reason that he was able to get acquitted was that he was not at the scene when the shooter was shot. He was down the hallway, and he didn't never shoot nobody.
So once again, we got a newspaper article, again, that's trying to sway everybody to something that's further away from the truth. This is why I was telling them I can't stand on that newspaper article. It's not a legal document to me. You know, we've been watching the mob. We watched the mob for years pay people off. You know what I mean? So the story read the way they wanted it to read. So I'm glad we clearing that up. It was one shooter. That's the brother on the phone now. The other gentleman didn't do a day in jail that they mentioned it. He's the one that
waited that man to get on his phone so this man could clear Hoover, but he got on the phone with the devil. That should piss a lot of real niggas off of Chicago. That man should not have talk to Wack about this. Wack trying to extort Larry Hoover for that video that he got. That's serious goddamn business. He should have never got on this motherfucker with Wack. Wack is an antagonizer trying to start shit. That man did not brag about shooting Hoover. He praised him and said he was his leader. But Wack is antagonizing, calling him a shooter, the one who popped him. James wasn't playing back in 68. That man never said nothing like that. Went to prison, did the time, and Larry Hoover never gave a statement against him. He copped out, took a plea.
That's what I did.
How much time did you do for this? I'm listening.
They gave me 1 to 5 years of me being a damn fool. I did 4 years and 6 months. The only reason I didn't do the whole 5 years is they came up with a new law of 93 6 months release.
Got you. Now, this nigga James, what's his last name, baby? Highsmith. You like that, don't you? James Highsmith. Hey, he was a gangster. Well,
he didn't say that.
Let me keep this playing because I just said he was a gangster. And we just pointed out that the newspaper said the other dude told him to burn him and he was charged, which in fact he was not charged. That's a lie. He never told him to burn him, never told him to do a day in jail. Now let me let y'all hear what else the newspaper lied about, because I don't think he was a gangster. Stay tuned.
Hey, Wack, let me say this right quick. The brother on the phone and the brother they talking about in the paper that told him to shoot, that brother couldn't have told him nothing. He was his own man then at 18, and he had his own followers. He couldn't have told him to shoot nobody. This man on the phone we speaking of now is a real legend in Chicago, and he's part of a program now that helps the brothers in the street, school, helps them do a lot of things. So he came full circle in his life, and he's somebody I look up to tremendously. I love Larry with all my heart.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother.
The article is so long. I have never been a member of the East Side Disciples. Never.
The man just said he was never a member of the East Side Disciples. Now, to some of you bozos who asked to come to my podcast, who asked to come sit down with me in the 22-ster, pay attention. Wack is going to try a tactic. Watch what the OG do to me. I'm going to try to get it out of him. He say he wasn't part of the East Side Disciples, so we want to know what you was a part of. Watch his play. Okay, so what did you represent back then, if anything?
I was never a member of the disciples, period.
Got you. OG, he said, I'm telling you what I wasn't a member of. I ain't going to tell you what I was a member of. I fuck with OG. Yeah, that's the way you supposed to handle that. You get what I'm saying? We gonna ask. If you answer, that's on you. The OG is teaching you. This is a real OG right here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just not calling him that because he waited around and popped Larry Hoover. I'm not calling him that because he went and did 4.5 off 5. I'm not calling him that because he here clearing up Larry Hoover, although they was ops. I'm going to let you continue to listen to him speak and let him hear and tell you what it really is today and what happened when he came face to face with Larry Hoover. Let's go. But I'll tell you this, brother. I got your direct phone number. I want to tap in because I hear you got an organization to see how we can tap in. We got diaper companies, Incredible Diapers, which is our diaper company, partnered with Floyd Mayweather, Nick Cannon. So I don't know if you got, teen mothers or mothers up there that maybe need some assistance. We can ship some of those things up there. And let's just lock in, bro, because as of now, every time we hear something about Chicago, it's about a rapper, somebody got killed, this, and that. I know it's way more to it than just that. So let's lock in. I got a few brothers, JoJo Capone and my brother Promise, that I've dealt with over the years. But let's expand the growth and lock in so we can all share each other resources, man, and educate one another, because even on this phone now, it's growth. I got my comrade who's from Insane Crip, who called me with the brother on the phone from up top, who got you on the phone. So it's even working now. This is how it's supposed to work.
Right. Give myself a plug. I'm James Highsmith. I'm the director of Project Violence Prevention Program right now today.
Now let me ask you a question. Have you spoken to Larry Hoover since your incident? Have you guys ever ran into each other?
We play basketball almost every day in Stateville.
So you did time with him?
In jail. And every time he got a chance through his white window, what have you, I get messages. And I also had the privilege to talk to him since he's been locked down.
There it goes there. So, not only did he shoot Larry Hoover because they was coming to rush him, he did his time, maxed out, right? Now he doubles back and lets it be known the man I was his op did not tell on him. He could have let the lie live. Now he lets us know he has an organization in Chicago helping the youth, helping the community, and him and Larry Hoover ran into each other in the penitentiary in the later years. And how did they deal with it? They played basketball together against each other. And since he's been home, he has spoken to Larry Hoover on the phone. So face to face, wasn't no more violence. Larry,
come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, I know the real. They understand what he's doing. He being disrespectful. He's not commending Larry Hoover for letting that man make it, knowing he was wrong for approaching him like that. Let that happen all the time in the hood. No. Y'all know he trying to really disrespect Larry when he said face to face. He's saying Larry didn't do nothing to the man.
We probably realized, nigga, we was coming to get you and you did what you had to do. And now, all these years later, because they kept their friendship and their respect intact, this man, he didn't have to do nothing. He's 70-something too. He could have laid back. This man found a way through my comrade, Big Faye from Long Beach Insane, to get a hold of me that try to clear, not to try to clear Mr. Hoover's name. Let's keep it going.
Why they had to get a hold of you to clear Larry Hoover's name? Why are you the one? See, because he's made himself the one by running the play with 1090J. He made himself the one. Now he's saying he the one who cleared Larry Hoover's name. He cleaned Larry Hoover's name. He's saying it.
Don't get no better than that. Man, I appreciate your time, Big Fave. I appreciate you as always, comrade. And I tell a lot of y'all, I met Big Fave on the battlefield. We met fighting each other. Our crews fighting each other. We've grown to what we grow to right now today. So I urge everybody, hey, listen, man, don't just see the wrong in somebody. Look for the good in somebody. Have a conversation with them, and you never know what it might lead to. And now it's been shit, babe. Would have been damn near, I don't know, 20 years later.
Let me say something else while I get on this. It's amazing how black people can take one wrong and don't remember all the good.
Crazy.
If you got a brother,
I hate that the OG said some real stuff to this dude. That man, it's crazy, bro. It's like casting what the Bible see your pearls amongst swine. He dropped pearls, but it's swine got it. You know, that's legendary. Nobody even heard this man. They done had this man resurface because he know the smut and the danger they putting Larry in that state jail, lying on him like that, acting like he got to tell on every motherfucker body. That's very dangerous. So the brother come forward. Well, let me get with whoever this Wack 100 dude is that we hearing about and tell the truth. That's crazy. They forced that man to do that, bro. And real niggas in Chicago, they should be very pissed just about that. Why they bring that old man out here and manipulate him like that? That's crazy, man.
So instrumental in the change of so many lives. Even if he had made a statement in 1968 when he was 18 years old, how do that affect the things that he didn't accomplish from that day all the way to today?
Well, the world we live in, and I told somebody this. I told him this about gangbanging. I said, listen, here's the downfall to that.
See,
you
can do OG say if he did make a statement in 1969, what are we talking about that? See, well, but you don't understand the day we living in school. Yo, nigga, please. It's you niggas who don't understand. We do understand. We understand what's going on. Y'all don't understand. We tired of this shit. We had about enough of it. And what y'all just try to publicly lynch Larry Hoover, I think there's gonna be some changes coming real soon for niggas like this. Because nobody can believe I saw some internet clowns say Wack standing up for Hoover. I'm like, y'all stupid. That's how niggas rock your ass to sleep and fuck you over out here in these streets. Don't ever let nigga play you like that. You better look at shit from all different angles, man.
Million things right. The minute you do that,
I know them brothers not that dumb. They know what's going on.
It offsets everything. And this is why I tell the kids it is not a good investment of time to go in that direction. It just doesn't make sense, but that's what that is. So with us doing what we're doing, our children, grandchildren, family members, we're teaching them to go another way. Eventually, it will phase out. You know what I mean? Eventually it will phase itself out. And long as conversations, as long as the relationship.
That's crazy. The OG don't even know he on the phone with a nigga who controversial, talking about Pyru gangs. Everything is gang affiliated. It's not a man of peace. You heard him? He telling the children to do the right stuff. Who? When? Boy, you a lie. You ever told none of the little homies to do the right shit? You a liar. But he gotta act in the presence of a real peacemaker, in the presence of a real OG who he don't want to glorify all that. Wack glorifying what happened with Larry Hoover. That man ain't. He say Larry Hoover is his leader. He said Larry his leader. That's some powerful shit. Wack hate that shit.
And these type of conversations are happening amongst us, right, across the globe. It ain't got no choice but to phase out because we're going to be the one to make the final decision anyway. And we probably need to start having these conversations about some of these old-ass rules that was put in place by somebody that was in the 8th grade with a 5th grade read level. It's a fact. You know what I mean? Because what it stood for and what it was ain't
Oh, man, now you want to steal my shit, nigga. I'm the one saying you niggas steady following the laws and guidelines of those children. What? Boy, don't steal my shit. Oh, now you don't want to? Why be damn? What? I got you. I'm clipping that. I don't want to hear you talking about no rules and regulations on the West Coast no more, bitch ass nigga. When you just told us that's bullshit, it's time to change that shit. It was started by some illiterate 8th graders. That's a fact. Games were started by illiterate teenagers. Nobody should be carrying on that bullshit. Oh, Wack. Did you see the light?
Hey, Wack, let me interject this while we talking about that. His whole vision and the reason they keeping him is because he wants all of us as black people to do what the Chinese are doing. They shop with each other. They enrich each other. They don't buy Jordan. They don't buy $300,000-$400,000 checks. They enrich each other. That's his vision. And that's why they keeping him down because we make up 16% of the population in the United States. But we the number one in spending in country. So if we stand just with us, and that's his vision, he done touched millions and millions of lives. We got people that he done put through law school. That's his vision for us to unite and stop attacking each other. That's why they keep him locked up.
Well, listen, I do know this. I do know this. Shout out to Kanye. A lot of people scrutinized him when he put that damn MAGA hat on that years ago. And I talked to Kanye. He said, brother, I'm doing this trying to position something for Larry Hoover to be able to come home. Right? It may have took some time, but we see the federal thing has been wiped away. Now he's in the state. You know, I'm telling people the 200 years, I see it, but the brother has 52 years in. I do know the last time I thought I heard he had a board date of 2028, but even so, before then, we need to start the petitions now. We need the letters of those families. We need those families who know their sons and daughters and nieces and nephews who took a different turn because Larry Hoover started screaming growth and development instead of the other thing, and they were able to say, you know what, I'm going to go another way. We need those letters. We need emails. We need blog sites. We need things set up so people can send these things into. They've set up a petition for Tory Lanez. Shout out Tory Lanez. We need a petition set up for Larry to free Larry because he has this one obstacle to fight to come home. The brother's in his 70s, and if we get these things going, we show the demand from the prominent people, not just the streets. We need the churches, we need the ball players, we need the rappers, we need the teachers in the schools. We need everybody to see the good in this movement to chime in on this, and that way we can put some leverage.
Now, I'm glad he say we need everybody to see some good in this dude to humanize him, right? Y'all heard him? Guess how you can see some good in them and humanize them? By releasing that footage that he got. He already go back to when this was what all this shit is about. Go back to when he was arguing with Jay Prince. And he said he want to talk to Larry Jr. to get him away from Jay Prince because they need to release this footage. But he got the footage from the lady. She don't want you can't sell it. No, they won't end on the Hoover story from now until eternity. That's a fact. Wack is saying that. Now, he said then This footage can help humanize him, you know, because he was saying some good stuff in the footage with the lady, you know, some good stuff for the community. Come on, this all a play. This is all a play. That's why Wack said up all this, talking all that bullshit that he don't even give a damn about the community. He don't give a shit about the people. He don't care about Mr. Hoover. All he care about is them signing off on the release of the footage so they can all make some money.
On the political side of Illinois, and they see if we can get them people to expedite letting this brother go.
Hey, thank you for that, Wack. And we have over 5,000 phone calls with the governor's office. And we have over 5,000 petitions sent to the governor's office about free line. I would like to send you one so you can see what we're doing. Everybody's calling in. Everybody is signing. Everybody's sending something to the governor's office for clemency.
Well, listen, get that to me. Get that to me. You got my word. You got my word. I'm going to use everything, all the resources I have, and we're going to spread that, and we're going to try to heighten that. And let's see if we can strengthen that and let these people know that, you know, hey, we mean business.
Hey, right. So you got a brother here in Chicago, and we love and honor things that you do. Just like when the brother James read that, he said, man, he liked the way you talk. He felt the honesty in the vibe. That's what he was telling me. And that's what James talk all the way right. That's what he thought.
Oh no, I know. I know what I'm dealing with. I heard the brother when he said I only came home 6 months early because it was a rule. So I know what I'm dealing with. Those that come from that and that looked into themselves and fixed themselves, right? He don't know how to do nothing but speak his honesty and speak, you know, his side of the truth. But get that to me. We're going to help spread the word of that. I'm going to hit all my brothers, the academics, No Jumpers, the Flag TVs, all my brothers that got major platforms, and we're going to ask them to extend their respects to help spread that, and let's see if we can strengthen this thing. I mean, let's continue to grow.
Revolutionary salute to our Queen by Capricorn for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, Queen Say Journal. Hope you're still live when I get out the booth after work. I'm on year 6, and you say, follow me, Free Larry Hoover, get the lights up. Salute, Queen. Definitely appreciate the donation to the war chest. Help me keep the lights on, and definitely Free Larry Hoover. Go figure. Follow me.
Let's keep the faith. Let's keep the faith. And, Free Larry Hoover and for those youths, or those people in that state facility, I'm going to give y'all something that somebody gave me, right? There are do's and debts to those before us. We must remain a stronger warrior for the ones to follow. The mission is to move forward. To get there means not to know how far to go. Everybody in the facility that Larry Hoover is in, that man shouldn't have to open the door. That man shouldn't be questioned. That man shouldn't have to do nothing, man, but come out, breathe fresh air, and do exactly what it is he want to do. I urge whoever those inmates are, those youngsters are, do the right thing and show some respect, because without that man, the doors you walk through wouldn't have been open.
After y'all try to get the man knocked off, and never forget, Wack, I just played the video earlier. Wack already said them releasing that information saying he was a snitch was to get him hit in state jail. It's the state prison in Chicago, and it put his life in jeopardy. Now he's forgetting all that. He said that his life is in jeopardy. Now he's saying, I urge the inmates there, the youngsters, to do the right thing. What? Like not kill him because y'all said he was a snitch?
Hey, listen, all you brothers, man, I really respect you. I really respect what you did, man. Thank you for this union. And let me say this, I've been on 14 years. I did 32. And because of people like Jane Highsmith opened the door, he used to be my supervisor when I first came home. He said, come on over here, I got a job for you. You know what I'm saying? And that kept me grounded. So I want you to know that we really following that blueprint of helping people that really need help coming home.
Well, I'm with you.
What y'all do, man.
I'm with you, brother. Get me those links, give me that information so I can start doing my part. I appreciate y'all.
Look, I just sent it to you, Lucas. Send it to the brother, all right?
All right, Big Faye. Once again, bro, appreciate you, Big Faye. My comrade for life.
All right. Thank y'all for such a positive platform. We support everything.
We should have never got on the phone.
Appreciate you, brother. All right.
This nigga got to clear nothing up with no Wack 100. You have to clear nothing up with no Wack 100. That's serious motherfucking business, and that's crazy motherfucker. See, Wack don't have to. That's not his business. See, he always, and that's what's so crazy, because he the first one to tell people about West Coast business, Pyro business, tell us all that stuff. Now he getting growth and development business and what's going on. That was none of his business. The 1090 Jake, that's crazy. That wasn't really his business. See, they playing dangerous daily games, trying to. They see that this is see, they trying to cause a bunch of chaos, because they know their handlers is promising to protect them through all this chaos. But everybody who in the streets and who been tied to any organization, damn well that was none of their business. He is tied to the Blood family. 1090 Jake tied to the Blood family. They could start a war like that, bro. That's serious. Two fake motherfuckers who they no gang members really respect them. They got the audacity to try to run that motherfucker play on a man who he ain't denounced it. He don't have nothing to do with it. But there's people still in there. They don't see it that way. They won't allow that to happen with that man's name, bro. And for Wack to act like he the one, gotta clear that. That's outrageous to me. You the one? Gotta clear Larry Hoover name? Man, please, bro. That shit there got to get corrected.
There y'all have it.
That gotta be corrected.
There y'all have it. Right? Raw and uncut. Once again, my involvement in this, I heard it. I addressed it on the 100 side of Clubhouse. I caused some backlash. I didn't feel like a newspaper article was enough to tarnish Larry Hoover's name. 1090 responded to me, said he went and found another newspaper article from 1968. He read it. I responded back to 1090. And now the man who shot Larry Hoover himself found a way to find me through my brother, my Crip comrade, Big Faye from Long Beach Insane, a true general over there. And we had the conversation that you guys just heard, right? Free Larry Hoover. Again, somebody on that side, let's start a petition. And we can share that link. We can get that in front of the governor of Illinois. Show the people that, on the worldwide scale.
Oh, clown ass nigga. See that play he just ran? Now, Jake the Snake. So I didn't know that they saying, and shoot to this brother Brian Blake, because he been on Jake's head. He's saying that Jake don't like the GDs. I didn't know that. I don't pay attention to who he don't like. Let's just see this.
1090 Jake has taken his obsession with the GDs and BDs to a new level after he drops a video accusing Larry Hoover of being a snitch, taking a completely different approach from his usual approach. This time, 1090 Jake doesn't produce any paperwork. The only thing he has to support this claim is a newspaper article that's allegedly over 50 years old. To be completely honest, in my opinion, it doesn't matter whether Larry told in the 60s or whatever, because he has served about 50 years in prison. I'm pretty sure he could have sold out a lot of other guys for the opportunity to get freedom, at least attempted to, with maybe some murder cases or something, but he sat down and did his time. Now, what I want you all to focus on is the fact that even though Larry Hoover being released is a new thing, it demonstrates 1090 Jake's continued mission as, I almost want to call him co-intel pro. And the reason why I say this is because I believe he is trying to incite members. He's trying to incite growth and development members, GD members, whatever you want to call them, to begin attacking him personally, even if not physically, just to demonstrate the type of influence that Larry Hoover has. The government has consistently claimed that Larry is a threat.
This was a mistake. I ain't go to development, and I'm pissed off about that. You see, the community is pissed off about that, bro. Like, I'm gonna say it once again. Larry Hoover's a man of peace. Just like Tuka was when they killed Tim. I'm not no Crip. That was very disrespectful. That pissed me off. He was a man of peace. Nobel Peace Prize winner. He was denouncing all that. We could have used that warrior out here. We need Larry out here. I want to sit and listen to some of them gems he dropping about how to fight these people politically. That's what they fucking scared of. He said it in the 90s on the Rap-A-Lot tapes. I'll never forget that shit. See, they underestimated. See, they can watch growth and development and the people all they want. It's more than them that are upset about this public lynching that we was watching, tarnishing of a man, trying to put his life in danger in state prison. Come on, it's still some disrespectful blackface Ku Klux Klan members and other gang members in there who would love you. They clout chasers, bro. Y'all understand what they tried to do? Get that man hit in prison instead of behind snitching? Come on, bro.
To society, his influence makes him a threat to society. And, what better way to prove that than to send somebody like 1090 Jake in to incite a riot amongst the masses by calling Larry a snitch. We've seen 1090 Jake attempt to further this agenda, this beef that he has with the GDs over the years. One example being the King Yella situation where he put out the paperwork accusing King Yella of snitching on 600 Breezy and Lil Durk and all of these other guys. And in my opinion, it's pretty obvious that Jake, in an attempt to further his relationship with Lil Durk and possibly get a shout out like he did, he's been using his platform to defame the GDs. In order to help you better understand why I'm saying this, I'm going to play a few clips for y'all and break them down. Over the years, we've heard 1090 Jake speak on this thing called a TOH in the Florida youth prisons, or a test of heart. We've also seen articles about this where they have alleged that these brutal initiation style attacks have resulted in inmates needing to be stitched up or have surgeries, and in some cases, even death. Well, in one old interview, 1090 Jake, while I guess trying to sound cool or hip or tough, let it come out of his mouth that he was actually TOH'd by a GD, and that the end result was him having bruises and blood pockets all under his skin. Now, as I said before, he tries to make this sound cool, but me as a man who's been to prison, I've never known for it to be cool for guys to smack you in the mouth until your mouth is bleeding, or punch you and beat on your body until you can actually see the blood forming under your skin, unless it's some sort of violation.
But I locked down with Bone, the GD, and the cut, and Bone was like, hey, bro, you got to get your TOH. I'm talking about, bro, we go at it for like 2 seconds. Bone had me yoked up like this. I can't move. I'm laid out on the floor, stretched out, beating that shit. I'm talking about the whole time we were locked down, though. So, this is like 30 minutes or an hour. So when I came out, I'm talking about my whole stomach, ribs, and chest. Like, you can see all the blood under my skin busted up. He was like, you gonna break it off? You gonna break it off?
And then there is the issue of Jake claiming that he got his face cut for refusing to tie flags with the GDs or align himself with the GDs, even though that's what the Bloods were doing. But at the end of the day, it's another example of him having something done to him as a result of an issue with the GDs.
The GDs were the ones that approached me. So they're like, oh, we're tied flags. I'm like, no, nah, who the fuck is that? Oh, nah, we're on this shit over here, da-da-da. Your brother's in the cell right there.
As Jake gets further into this story, he acknowledges that the GDs were not targeting him, but were actually trying to embrace him. But coming from the Midwest, I gotta say, I've seen over the years since this drill music thing started and the BDs became more popular, a lot of these influencers, bloggers, even rappers themselves try to pick sides in this situation. And Jake made it obvious to me that that's what he was doing when he started telling this story. And miraculously, he got this issue with the GDs, but there's a BD that happens to be on deck to ride with him.
Blood, if you got a problem with that, and he turns to the cell block and he yells out, I got $50 on his head in canteen right now. So you just put a hit out on me in front of everybody. So I yell out, who gonna take the hit? Because I got a razor on me. The second you get here, you get a razor. And I know they're strapped up because they've been here. Nobody says nothing. So it was the next day. We went to chow, we showered, we came back, nothing happened. It was the next day, the very next day, when we're going to chow. The doors pop, I come out. There was someone with me from Sumter. He's a BD, a black disciple. Usually the GDs and the BDs, they're tied flags. He didn't like none of the GDs here. He thought they were all soft. We got cool because he was actually in the room with the head of NPR at Sumter, and they were close. So me and him got cool on the ride over. So dude told me, you know, the night before this happened, he's like, yo, I got your back. So I at least had one person that had my back, you know what I mean?
These are just two examples of quote unquote bad encounters that 1090 Jake has had with the GDs in his past lifetime. When you take all of this into consideration and couple it with the fact that 1090 Jake has clearly used his platform to bolster people like Dirk, while at the same time take down people like King Yella, who is a quote unquote op just because he is a GD, it's obvious that he's using his platform as a tool to tarnish and defame the GDs. This is in my opinion. It's obvious. Coming from East St. Louis and having served over 10 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections, I'm familiar with a lot of these guys and people from their neighborhoods on both sides. And I'm familiar with being cool with people from both sides and knowing how to stay in my lane and let my business be my business. There are a lot of fans and people across the world who seriously believe that they are OTF or FBG and are picking sides in these situations. FBG Duck has even done interviews where he has spoken about music industry artists and producers not wanting to work with him because he's a GD and they feel like it would hurt their relationship with Dirk. And at the end of the day, I view 1090 Jake as one of those types of people. He is attempting to insert himself into that beef, but he's also attempting to attach himself to Larry Hoover's legacy by gaining some notoriety, I guess, as the person who exposed Larry Hoover as being a snitch. While I do see it as disrespectful because he hasn't produced any legal court documents, at the same time, I understand that 1090 Jake is just trying to attach himself to Larry. The commutation of Mr. Hoover's federal life sentences by President Donald Trump has made headlines, not just in America, but all over the world. This is a big worldwide national story. And 1090 Jake is, you know, he's trying to latch on. He's trying to make his name be a part of the next chapter of Larry Hoover's life. But at the same time, like I said, this is one of those COINTELPRO type of things in my mind, because we know that he will cooperate with authorities. We see that. We see that he will go under the guise of being a gang member to get information. So I believe that he's just trying to incite the people, hoping that maybe he can get some threats, or that somebody who is directly affiliated with Larry will reach out to him. That's why he said, if you ain't Larry Hoover's son, nephew, cousin, brother, or somebody from the 60s or 70s, he's looking for somebody with a direct connection to Larry Hoover to reach out to him and try to correct that narrative or have anything to say to him so he can document it, whether it's through making another video and saying, hey, I talked to Larry's son and he said that wasn't true. We had it wrong. or he can get
Now,
in a
Wack already did it. Wack interviewed the shooter, right? Check. Remember, I played the video of Wack saying 1090 Jake diabolical, man. Oh, he say he not letting this go. He got way more stuff. He done his digging, like Wack told him to go do his digging. And it's gonna get real ugly. Wack said that. It's not gonna stop. Even after the shooter came out and said, heck no, Larry didn't snitch. They're saying 1090's not gonna stop. Well, what was this all about from the beginning?
an original member to come
About,
forward.
if Larry snitched about getting shot, hell no, it was never about that. It's about extortion. Wack 100 and then want the people to sign off on the video Wack got so they can make money. Now Wack saying he the only one can clear Larry Hoover. And Larry family, they owe him. They don't want him to side with 1090 Jake. Wack said that out of his own damn mouth.
And give him an interview and he can question about how things were back in those days. He's chasing content. So again, my advice would be to just, disregard it. Hey, we see it, we acknowledge it, it's false information, keep it moving. At this point, Larry has already denounced his gang ties. And this is why, while I'm saying this is why I know that 1090 Jake was fronting with this whole I'm no longer a blood thing, because Larry has denounced his gang ties. And instead of allowing this man to move past his past and his history as a gang member, you go back and come with something from 60 years ago talking about he a snitch, which it shouldn't matter if he has said, hey, I've grown past that part of my life. Because at the end of the day, everything comes with the game. Snitching, robbing, stealing, killing, it all comes with a criminal lifestyle. There are all different types of criminals, and they all have different fetishes and things that they like to do. So there is no need for this other than to be trying to incite some type of, dysfunction or mass uproar. He wants everybody to get upset with him. That sends people to his videos and the traffic. Again, I just wanted to break down to y'all why 1090 Jake is doing what he's doing and give y'all some real insight into his history and why he has this agenda against the GDs. If you notice, he never got nothing good to say about the GDs. I don't believe that they cut his face for disrespecting them and saying we ain't tied flags and all that. But I do believe that he got punched on or, something happened to him as a result of that situation. And that's why he said he went psych. He didn't say, oh, I couldn't go. If I would have went and told them that was checking in, so I just went psych. So, yeah, I believe he told the GDs, I ain't tying flags with y'all or whatever he said. They whooped on him or did something to him. And he faked the cut on his face to get out of there. That's how I look at it. But I most definitely would not comment any threats or anything like that. That's what he's looking for. That's what the authorities are looking for. So they can say, hey, Larry Hoover has so much power. A guy just posted an old newspaper article implying that he might be a snitch, and they attacked him. Why would they do that if he's not a gang member, if he's not somebody with any type of gang authority? At the very least, this is, to me, a clear indication of how 1090 Jake weaponizes his platform. He has an agenda. He has a beef with the GDs. He has a platform that has grown and is now big enough that he feels like he can use his platform to damage them in any way that he can, whether it's through their reputation and not physically or however. But it's obvious that this is how he uses his platform. So when y'all see him make these videos, start to question what kind of, agenda he has against the artist or the person that he's making the video about. On that note,
All right, so for this video, I want to talk to you guys about the most famous fake white Florida blood from Boston, 1090 Sticks, because he's back in the news. And this time he's facing backlash for trying to quote unquote expose legendary Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover for being a rat. And this is really confusing because he just told creepy weirdo Vlad TV that he's not exposing snitches anymore and that he's done with that.
Snitched or how to work. That's why I don't even, the snitching videos is over with. Like I said, if
and
one
so that was
person,
obviously a lie, which is not surprising because Jake is a well-documented liar and storyteller and fraud. But I did want to talk about this new video that he made because it's so stupid. It's just a huge nothing burger. And it's obvious that he only put this video out because Larry Hoover has been in the news lately for getting pardoned by Donald J. Trump. And so this is a huge clout chase. And the documentation Jake uses is newspaper articles. It's not paperwork.
I never knew you could get paperwork that goes this far back, but this is a documented shooting that took place. And, you know, I have the news clippings in this video. Y'all can see it. Y'all can look it up for yourselves. It ain't a secret. It's been out for fucking 57 years.
So this 57-year-old newspaper clipping is the basis for Jake's expose. What? This is just a newspaper article, and it's quoting the police. It's not even, there's no narrative that's signed. It's not an affidavit. It's not a witness statement. This is a newspaper article. And the newspaper article basically says that Larry Hoover got shot by his rival gang members and he got hit in the legs and ended up telling on those people to the police from his hospital bed. Now, I do want everyone to understand that this is a newspaper article from the 1960s in Chicago, and it's the police that are being quoted. This is all just the police telling the newspaper what they say Larry Hoover said. There's no, it's just a bunch of nonsense. You know, the police in Chicago in the 60s was one of the biggest criminal organizations in America. What? You know, the corruption in the 60s with that department is insane. They're not credible at all, and I don't understand why we're even talking about this. And this shooting happened in the middle of the fucking day in the principal's office. What? There were witnesses everywhere. There were multiple bystanders that got hit. There were people telling people stuff all over the place. They picked the guys up minutes after they shot. These guys did not get arrested because of Larry Hoover. The cops are trying to put this on Larry Hoover to try to make him out as a snitch, I think. This is what happened because it just doesn't make sense that they've got these guys in custody minutes after, and then they go to the newspaper and try and attribute these arrests to like what Larry Hoover told them. Did Larry Hoover take the stand, by the way? Do we have anything that actually, I mean, is there any proof that Larry even said any of this, or are we just going off the cops' words? Because I think it needs to go a little bit further than that if we're going to be labeling someone like Larry Hoover a snitch. Okay, that's crazy. So 1090 Jake puts this video out and people are not happy about it. He's all over the blogs. People are reminding him that he is one of the most famous snitches in the world. What? And it's just not really going very well for him. His video flopped. It only got 150,000 in the first day. So the video is not performing well. It's not lucrative at all. And it's just so funny because he's put himself in a lot of danger for a lot, you know, not a lot of money. And as we all know, Jake has publicly stated that he only does that. He only exposes snitches in the interest of gaining money so that he can support his new relationship. What? And that's true. And so I want to play you this clip of 1090 Jake explaining that he doesn't, I don't care about any of this shit. I only really expose snitches because I need money.
I think people get it confused and they think that I genuinely give a fuck. I don't care.
You're just
YouTube
making content.
Pays me, bro.
Yeah,
If I wasn't making money off of this shit, I wouldn't give a fuck.
For sure. So he does this all for money. It's only in the interest of money. And I want to play you some more of this. This is really interesting. This is where it gets really sort of weird. When Jake starts lying and then he starts contradicting himself mid-sentence almost. I mean, it's really bizarre. And I want to show you this. So this next clip is going to show Bootleg Kev sort of check 1090 Jake on the fact that he's like sort of destroying people's lives by labeling them a snitch. And he asks Jake how he feels about that. And Jake pretty much denies that these people's careers are affected by his videos. He's like, nobody cares about when I do a video on somebody. Nobody gives a fuck about what I say. I'm just doing what I do so I can get some money.
Drop shit on people that have still maintained their career.
Like Boston Richie was one of your famous ones, right?
Yeah.
Affected his career negatively.
Like 6 days after that shit dropped, when I dropped that shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
So who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like people are still gonna have their opinion on that. Like, oh, he gave fake names, whatever. And I can show you what name was real and what name, you know, but it's like, Who gives a fuck?
So Jake says nobody gives a fuck. So that okay, so what he's saying is that when he makes a video about someone labeling them a snitch and getting millions and millions of views and ruining their image, that no one cares about it and that it doesn't really affect the person's career. Now I want you to pay attention to that. Jake says nobody cares, no one gives a fuck about this. So he's saying that when someone gets labeled a snitch, no one at the end of the day really cares, and that it's not, people are still going to listen to their music and everything else, right? Okay, so minutes later, Bootleg Kev asks Jacob if there was ever a time when he had paperwork on someone labeling them a snitch that he decided not to make a video about. And Jake says, yes, there is someone that I decided not to make a video about, even though they are a snitch. And listen to the reason why he didn't make the video.
Have you decided to not expose somebody for whatever reason, even though you have shit where you're like, maybe?
I got a interrogation video on a big rapper.
Why haven't you dropped it?
Because I know what it's going to turn into. The thing is, I already know that who it is going to get a pass, so why do it?
Yeah, why stir up some shit?
Why stir up some shit that in a fucking, 2 weeks nobody's going to give a fuck about? And it's just going to cause me more of a pain in the ass than anything. So I don't need the money that bad.
What the fuck did I just? So he's having trouble keeping up with his lies, isn't he? He just said that he doesn't mind putting the snitch label on people because at the end of the day, no one's gonna care about it.
Shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
So who gives a fuck? But it's like, who gives a fuck?
But then he says that he didn't expose Big Sad for being a snitch because no one would care about it, and it wouldn't be worth it because no one will care about it.
I already know that who it is gonna get a pass, so why do it? Why stir up some shit that in a fucking 2 weeks nobody's gonna give a fuck about?
Then why are you exposing anyone at all? Why are you exposing Larry Hoover if no one cares about it? It's so stupid. So what the fuck is going on? And Bootleg Kev sitting here like, yeah. But what he's thinking is, man, this guy's stupid. And but he doesn't want to dig in. He's non-confrontational. This is probably why he has the #1 hip hop podcast on the West Coast, because he doesn't like dig into people and like really put people on the spot. But he knows that Jake sounds like a fucking idiot right here. So I just wanted to show you that. Now I do want to move on to this next clip. This is going to be 1090 Jake for the first time letting the world know that he is no longer a blood and that he has dropped his flag and he is an official dropout. Okay, this is really interesting. Look at this.
Like you brought up, I'm a white blood. None of that shit's on my Instagram anymore. All the pictures are taken down. All the fucking, like I turned 30 and I was just like, this shit doesn't serve me. It made sense in prison. Brotherly love, overriding oppression, destruction. I'm broke, you're broke. We come together, we eat.
Wow. So he says it only made sense for him to be a blood in prison because, whatever, I eat, you eat, we eat together. That's not what he's always he's always said, that he was a blood long before he went to prison. But now he's like, it made sense in prison because I really had to show out. I had to show everybody that I was the biggest white boy in the, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and being a white blood in prison actually puts you in a worse position. It doesn't make sense at all to do that. So he's saying it made sense in prison. No, it didn't. And so Jake's not intelligent enough to actually go on an interview podcast and conduct himself because he's a liar and he can't keep track of his lies.
It made sense in prison. Brotherly love, overriding oppression, destruction. I'm broke, you're broke. We come together, we eat. They want to fuck us up. Well, we're going to fuck them up together. Out here, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why am I risking what I got going on to portray? I'm not out here sliding on shit, doing shit, so it doesn't make sense. And then not only that, but
so what people need to understand about 1090 Steak is that he's a goof. He's a fucking goof. And he went to prison for a very short amount of time. He was a short timer. He spent like a matter of months, and 36 months tops. And it was less than that.
You spent about 36 months in prison altogether?
It was less than that.
It was like 2 years and he couldn't hang. He was telling people that he wanted to, disalive himself so that he can get special treatment and get away from general population. This is something that he said.
So what I did is I took the razor and I cut myself with the razor. And I didn't like I didn't do nothing crazy. I'm literally nicking it, just, forming a long line, just nicking and then pinching my skin so it bleeds a little bit. I took a piece of paper and I wrote, I'm going to kill myself. I wiped my blood all over it. I stuck it on the window. I laid down on my back and I'm just bicycle kicking the door down. No, I want to kill myself. They put me in a psych cell, which is a pretty big size room. I got a suicide mat on the floor. This suicide mat, bro, is like the equivalent of a Tempur-Pedic. I don't know if you ever went psych, but this is the thickest, most comfortable mat. So I'm butt naked the whole 21 days in this. Like, I'm really trying to pull this whole psych thing. The whole state of Florida, the psych units were basically on lockdown because they were overpopulated. They couldn't accept any more people, so no one could go. So I wasted my time doing this whole thing. I never got sent anywhere.
Wow. So Jake went to great lengths and did everything he could think of to get himself separated away from all of his blood partners. He wanted to get shipped off to the puzzle factory to hang out with all the J-Cats and the weirdos. So I'm just wondering where it all made sense for him to, get all these tattoos and all this shit. He's not a blood. He's just a normal guy that moved from Malden, Massachusetts down to Florida, where he burglarized his own family and got sent to youth prison for a very short amount of time. He was not institutionalized. He was not it didn't change him in any way. He just used this to tell stories and make money on YouTube. And he's losing interest in this persona because this new girlfriend that he has wants him to be a country boy. She wants him to, wear jeans and shit kickers and wear a cowboy hat and comb his hair and everything. This is this new direction that Jake's going with his career. He's going to be a country boy.
I'm good. How you doing?
Yo, it's crazy like seeing you without a hat. Like the last few interviews I've seen, I'm like, yo, you like without the tattoos, like you know what I mean? Like you look like you could sell mortgages, bro.
Yeah, you think so? I had people saying that shit the other day. They were like, yeah, you really white boying it right now. But
super white boy. Yeah.
I mean, Jake is actually trying to go country now because of his girlfriend Haley, and it's really interesting to watch. It's extremely cringe. If you go to his Instagram, he's always posting stories of her and what they're doing, and he's always doing some pathetic ass shit. Please go follow 1090 Jake on Instagram. It's really interesting. And I've actually got a full episode. I think it's like a 2-hour fucking episode on Patreon about his relationship with his girlfriend. I encourage people to go check that out. And I'll actually play you a clip. Actually, I want to start here. No Jumper. So 1090 Jake went on No Jumper and was talking about how disgusting his toes are and how pussy and bloody they were in prison. And I was like, oh my God, he's got disgusting fucking toes.
My toenails were fucking infected from the last prison because of the small ass boots they gave me. So my shit bleeding, pussing. I can't walk. Medical basically told me to go fuck myself. They're not treating me until I get to the next spot. So I can't move. I can't run. I'm basically stationary. So when I get hit, I turn around. I'm like, all right, let's go blade for blade.
So I've always held on to this memory of hearing about Jake's disgusting toenails. And so the other day when I was watching his Instagram, he was posting a story about him and Haley, and they were going kayaking. And we actually got to take a look at these toes. And I want to show you this. Look at that. Look at that big toe. Look at the toenail. Look at the fungi. That's it. Him and I thought this was Jala. I thought this was Poetic Minyango Jala.
Frederick Jala is my real name.
But it's not. It's 1090 Steak. And ever since I heard that story he told about his toenails being all bloody and fungusy and squirting pus everywhere, I've been extremely interested. I've been watching him like a hawk, trying to find out if, trying to find a photo or footage of these toes. Well, here it is. And he's done a great job of concealing them and hiding them. Look at this photo here. And his girlfriend, Haley, I believe, took this photo. And I think she said, babe, get your feet out of the shot. Get your feet out of the shot. So he's doing this insane spread. And that's a crazy spread. When Jake was busting down, when Jake talks about busting down a spread, this is what he's talking about. He's talking about doing the fucking splits to get those toes out of that shot. It'd be too close to the camera. We'd be able to see all that fungi. And as you can see, the perfect shot where the handle of the oar and his hand are covering his nips. So you can't see those either. So this was an acceptable photo for them to post, even though it looks crazy. Now, I just wanted to point that out because Jake is a cowboy. Now he's fully country. And I can guarantee you, I predicted this in the Patreon video. I knew that he was going to go full country, and it's going to be crazy in like a year from now. If they're still together, he's going to be literally like fully open about country. He's going to be a shit kicker. And I cannot wait for the day when he's doing interviews talking about how he changed his life and now he loves country. He loves going on down them dirt roads with the cold beer and, the country lifestyle. He wants to change his life. He doesn't want to be this white blood anymore, unfortunately. And it's all because of his girlfriend. And he's open about it. He's going to be saying stuff like, so my bitch really changed my mind about the whole gangbanging thing, whatever. And people don't realize this, but I'm really starting to change my life for the better with my new bitch. And I'm singing country music now. I'm doing country stuff. I'm singing the music. I'm loving he's singing country music now to her. I guarantee you he's singing to her. I guarantee he's like, I spent my whole life getting it all wrong, but I sure could use your help just from now on. I want to be a good man. I do like I should, man. I Wanna be the kind of man that drops out of the bloods.
Okay.
Drop shit.
Go figure. Follow me.